Hello and welcome to today's video. I'm going to do a little mini tour today of an area of an island that was eventually going to be a themed island that was sort of a moody, spooky, dark academia island theme. But I didn't end up finishing that island, but I had this section done, so I still wanted to make a little tour of it and show off this part of it. So as you can see, we're set in sort of a foggy fall weather time period, and the idea here is that this is a haunted house. You can even see that the character is sort of dressed up like a ghost, which was a fun little challenge to do. But the idea was that there would be this old abandoned mansion sort of off up on this high cliff top next to the sea, and that it was haunted and really spooky, and that there was sort of a lot of lore in the town around this abandoned mansion. So everything has sort of a gothic vintage look to it, lots of blacks and grays and sort of this sort of dead fall abandoned vibe to it. Part of the lore is that there's a little family graveyard over here next to the seaside, with the idea that the character is sort of the ghost of maybe the owner of this house. You'll see little details sprinkled throughout that supports this story. Over here next to the house, I made this little cave. It has this code in it that you can kind of see these eyes peeking out of this dark cave. So I thought it was fun to just add some extra spooky touches around this area. And going inside the house, the main room here is, like I said, sort of just that abandoned, haunted sort of mansion vibe. So it's sort of like a sitting room or a parlor. But you can see that it's styled to look like, you know, maybe they were in the process of moving out, or some things were sort of packed up, and there's lots of antiques, but there's also bugs and garbage and spider webs. And I had a fun time finding furniture that kind of looked like it had sheets draped over it, which is like something common you see in this sort of ephemera. And then the back here is a bedroom, so it's even creepier in here. You can hear I've got like a little music box playing. There's actually a full-blown skeleton in the room with sort of this spooky effect put onto it. All throughout the house, I'm using the room sound effect of that creaky sort of abandoned house, so it just adds to the overall experience of this being a haunted house, which is fun. Then going up into the upstairs, I have this sort of abandoned ballroom. I like the idea that maybe they used to host a lot of fancy parties here, but now it's just this completely empty sort of place. So you can see it was a very fancy place at one point, but now it's just fully abandoned. You can see there's even a little scattered paper on the ground that says poison, so adding little details here and there to sort of add to the lore. And then we go down into the basement, and it's just sort of a classic basement filled with old stuff. There's an old furnace, a workbench. You can see there's some sort of bones scattered on the floor. So just sort of this very creepy vibe of who is this ghost? What happened to him in his life? You can see there's a couple sort of baby toys, like a baby carriage and a doll down here in the basement. So it's all just adding up to this this little mystery. And I only decorated a few houses. You can see that the other doorways are blocked off because I felt like I could really tell the story of this sort of abandoned old mansion just in a few key rooms. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole tour. So thanks for stopping by.